in 1984, but 6 weeks after the attack on 9/11, their role expanded. President Bush used the Patriot Act to establish a network of what they called electronic crimes task forces.
The bill before me takes account of the new realities and dangers posed by modern terrorists.
According to the Secret Service, they are primarily engaged in activity with economic impact, organized criminal groups, or use of schemes involving new technology. The Secret Service turned Swartz's case over to the Boston U.S. Attorney's Office.
There was a guy in the U.S. Attorney's Office who had the title head of the Computer Crimes Division or Task Force. I don't know what else he had going, but you're certainly not much of a computer crimes prosecutor without a computer crime to prosecute. So he jumped on it, kept it for himself, didn't assign it to someone else within the office or the unit, and that's Steve Hyman.
Prosecutor Stephen Hyman has been largely out of public view since the arrest of Aaron Swartz, but he can be seen here in an episode of the television show American Greed, filmed around the time of Aaron's arrest. He is describing his previous case against the notorious hacker Alberto Gonzalez, a case that garnered Hyman enormous press attention and accolades. Gonzalez masterminded the theft of over 100 million credit card and ATM numbers, the largest such fraud in history. Here, Hyman, describing Gonzalez, gives his view on the hacker mindset.
These guys are driven by a lot of the same things that we're driven by. They have an ego, they like challenge, and of course they like money and everything you can get from money.
In an early press release describing the government's position in the case of Aaron Swartz, Hyman's boss, U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts Carmen Ortiz, said this: "Stealing is stealing, whether you use a computer command or a crowbar, and whether you take documents, data, or dollars."
It's not true. It's obviously not true. I'm not saying it's harmless, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't criminalize stealing of information, but we've got to be much more subtle in trying to figure out exactly which kinds of harms are harmful here.
He wasn't stealing, he wasn't selling what he got or giving it away. He was making a point, as far as I could tell.
The arrest took its toll on Swartz.
He just wouldn't talk about it. And he's like very stressed. If you thought like the FBI was like going to come to your doorstep any day, anytime you went down the hall, even to do your laundry, and they would break into your apartment because you left the door unlocked, like, I'd be pretty stressed. And it was clear. And so Aaron was always sort of like in like a dour mood. He wouldn't give up any sensitive information about his whereabouts during this time because he was so afraid that the FBI would be waiting for him.
Before he was indicted, Swartz was offered a plea deal that involved 3 months in prison, time in a halfway house, and a year of home detention, all without the use of a computer. It was on the condition that Swartz plead guilty to a felony.
Here we are. We have no discovery, no evidence whatsoever about what the government's case is, and we have to make this immense decision where the lawyer is pushing you to do this. The government is giving you a non-negotiable demand, and you're told that your likelihood of prevailing is small. So whether you're guilty or not, you're better off taking the deal.
I was so scared. I was so scared of having my computer seized. I was so scared of going to jail because of my computer being seized. I had confidential material from sources from my previous work on my laptop. And that is above all my priority, is to keep my sources safe. Aaron told me that they'd offered him a deal, and he finally just said that he would take it if I told him to. And I came real close to saying take it. He had developed like serious political aspirations in the intervening time between when, that moment when he ended that entrepreneurial startup life and begun this new life that had come to this political activism. And he just didn't believe that he could continue in his life with a felony. When he said to me one day, we were walking by the White House, and he said to me, "They don't let felons work there."
for that was that when he was at Stanford, he also downloaded the whole Westlaw legal database.
In a project with Stanford law students, Swartz had downloaded the Westlaw legal database. He uncovered troubling connections between funders of legal research and favorable results.
He did this amazing analysis of for-profit companies giving money to law professors who wrote law review articles which were then beneficial to, like, Exxon during an oil spill, right? So it was a very corrupt system of funding, vanity research.
Swartz had never released the Westlaw documents.
In theory, he could have been doing the same thing about the JSTOR database. That would have been completely okay. If he were, on the other hand, intending to create a competitive service to JSTOR, we're going to set up our own, access to the Harvard Law Review and charge, money for it, then, okay, now it seems like criminal violation because you're commercially trying to exploit this material, but it's kind of crazy to imagine that's what he was doing. So, but then there's a middle